So I'm gonna make this kind of fun, informative video on how to get your loofah to peel. You'll notice that my loofah is still green. There's a lot of people that say leave it on the vine until the whole vine dies back and it dries out. But I've also read that a lot of people have a really hard time. I have slime all over my hands. Peeling their loofah after that because the skin is like rock hard. The skin is really hard even when it's green, but I've heard that it's much more difficult to do when the skin is brown. There is some discoloration, so I'm definitely going to show you guys how I wash this off. I might do that first because I don't want this one to become stained. I'm very excited because this one has some black seeds, and they seem like they're probably mature enough so I can save them for next year, which is great because loofah is my cash crop. This is what I plant to sell to local shops and artisans and things like that so they can use it. I also do like sell it to people, like if you want a slice of it I'll give it to you. But yeah, I'm gonna wash this really quick. It's kind of discoloring from the air, so I want to wash all the gunk off. Okay, so I'm at my sink and I have my loofah. I'm just doing what I have read is the best way to wash these. I don't know if they're gonna work. I could come back in a month and be like, don't do that. So I'll update you guys as we go. This might be kind of loud because of the sink. I was just told to get as much of the like kind of slimy squash meat, you know, what's left of what would be squash meat, off. This side is already drying towards the middle. It's just the end. Oh, there's a seed trying to run away. It's mostly this end that is very squashy, liquidy. And you can squeeze it because it's a loofah, so it'll just regain its shape. Especially after you fill it up. And it'll dry. I don't have anything to really get deep into crevices to get all of the stuff out. I just wanted to get as much stuff as possible. Also, yes, this does look interesting. I'm hoping my video doesn't get flagged for this. But you know, sometimes we just do what we have to do. It'll be alright. This is purely educational. See how it's kind of like soapy almost? Like it's a really thick thing. You can tell it's not just water. Get all that stuff out because I don't want this to mildew. I may cut this one more time. I have 2 people purchasing these from me, and one of them just wants like little rounds, and then the other one wants like a full body scrub option. So I think maybe that one I'll cut again, and then this one, because it's narrow, I'll probably leave be. I'm nervous about how this is discoloring, so I'm going to keep an eye on it out as it dries and see if it's already like molding or if it's just a smooth thing. as this dries, the seeds should kind of rattle loose as well. Alright, so next I need to put them somewhere to dry. I have like these round pizza pans that have holes in them, and that's what I've been drying my sunflower seeds on, so I'm probably gonna do that. But right now that one's being used, so I'm just gonna put this on my ladder. I'll just put it up there. I have a ladder that an old ladder that wasn't really useful anymore, and we repurposed it into a drying area. Okay, so you get the loofah. Some of these are still really hard. This one's a little more spongy. This one was kind of crushed in my trellis. You're gonna remove it, and then a lot of people say if you hit it hard enough, it shakes all the seeds loose, but I think that's only if it's already dry. So we're going to cut off the end that wasn't attached to the main plant. You'll be able to see like a little dip, almost like where I cut. See how there's like a dip here? We're gonna cut that off because there's nothing, we're not gonna save that part of the sponge. It's not doing anything, and that's where we're gonna start cutting up the gourd. So now you take your pruning shears. Rika, stop. And you're just gonna, so we cut off the bottom because see here, it's like solid. You're gonna have to like get into that, and then you'll get into the fibrous parts. And you don't want to cut the actual sponge itself. And if you do, it's not a big deal. But you want to, so there's a little cut into the sponge right here, but I want to cut on top of it. There's like, see how you can see that layer of skin protecting it? You don't want to cut into the sponge if you can help it. You just want to cut on top. Again, you can. I mean, you'll just cut it in half long ways, basically. But that's not what I want to do because that's not what my buyer wants. My buyer wants sliced gourds and into small slices, and then thicker or longer pieces of gourd. And as you go, you can pull the skin off, and this is what it'll look like underneath. The skin is really thick, and last time I actually cut myself on it, so be really careful when you're doing this. I know there are some people that wear gloves. I don't. So you can see that I am cutting like a couple of pieces of it, but I'm not cutting all the way into the gourd. Sometimes it's just inevitable, you know, especially with how thick the skins are. It's really easy to nick into the actual gourd itself. Now I do know some people, when they peel their gourd, I think I read that they like soak them in water every night in a bucket, and that gets all of the goo off. I'm gonna have to read up on it and see if I decide to do that or not. Hey, you're fine. There's no one here, Rika. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure if that's right. I'm gonna have to read. I did wash that first one, and then I just set it to dry on something that has air going above and below it. And then I'll probably go ahead and like rotate it just to be safe and check it while it dries, because this is my first year growing loofah, and I already have buyers, so so I really do want it to succeed as much as I can. Ensure it will. But I also don't want to like do too much and have it mold, because I mean that would suck, obviously. So underneath is just going to be this paler sponge. As it dries, it can become like darker or more of a tan. You know, there's still kind of a green tint to it right now. But when it dries, it gets that tan color that you see. You can bleach them if you want white loofah. I'm not going to do that, only because that's not really my business model. That's not what I do this for. Sorry, I know I'm making funny faces. It's really hard to try and navigate this without cutting myself or hurting my cuticles on this. The last one was like super duper dry. Well, not super dry. I mean, it wasn't brown or anything, but it was really dry. So it was drier than this one. So it was not as thick, and it was a little easier, to peel initially. It was just different. I'm trying to keep this one whole so you guys can see how cool it is. See, I almost cut myself there. And if you look, you can already see that it's discoloring. I think it's just the exposure to the air, because the other one was discoloring, but I mean, I cleaned it and there's no funky stuff. Okay, so this is the end bit that you cut off, and this just pops right off, because this is always like the least mature, and then you end up with this little almost hollow bit. As it dries, that'll be hollow. So don't be afraid to cut off the end bit. You can't, I guess you could use it, but it naturally kind of pops off there without hardly any force. I just happened to like press right there and it popped off. So close. And I will mention, I don't have any fingernails. I do landscape design, so fingernails are not where it's at. I just don't bother. Let me mute this so I don't get my video taken down for, what is that? Like pirating or illegal use of music or something? Just watching TikTok compilations because it gives my brain something to think about while I do this. And if I have anyone that's watching this that is like, you're an idiot if you just get this tool here, it'll make your life so easy. I don't know why you're doing it like that. Please, like, comment. Let me know, because anything that makes it easier to sit here and peel a gourd would be lovely. Whee! I grew this all by myself. I'm so excited. I love it. I'm thrilled to be able to offer it to the people in my community. And yeah, so I'm gonna go wash this one just like I did the other one, and read up a little more on the whole in a bucket of water thing, and then I'll update you guys on how it's drying, things like that, just so we see if my method worked or if I'm crazy. It's bigger than my head. This one's probably so it's from my arm to about my hand to about my elbow. So I'd say probably like 18 to 24 inches long, which is a lot of loofah. Yep. Bye.